Well, just shows how ready I was. I only gave myself about 10-15 minutes to get sorted out to do this live stream. Well, just when you think things... No, actually, no, don't. No. You think things are getting better? No. I don't see it. No. Well, Brexit is just making things worse. Now, the government has come up with this fantastic new idea, a bright idea that is, which screws over more small businesses. Delis, yeah. Now, delis, delicatessens around the United Kingdom are now facing the prospect of, skyrocketing prices thanks to a rather ridiculous, daft, silly, foolish, a Brexit tax. Yes, a Brexit tax. Aren't we excited? Is this a benefit of Brexit? So you can go and tax your own people? Obviously, this Brexit tax is going to get passed on, it is, to you. Most likely. Well, it is true. According to Defra. Oh, Defra. You know who's in charge of Defra, don't you? Oh, dear. It's Theresa Coffey. Yeah, according to Defra, they're going to be charging a whopping 43, that's why I say 23, but 43 pounds per consignment for food imports. Now, with delicatessens, you see, they import foodstuffs from various locations. It's not always the same place, no. I used to know a deli geezer, yeah, he used to import stuff. And some stuff we'd get from over there, and some stuff we'd get from over there. Not always from the same place. So obviously what will happen is this £43 tax is going to be on every single consignment. Hence every single, I don't know, maybe Camembert from France, and I don't know, Gouda from Holland, or something like that. You know what I mean? So these taxes are just going to accumulate into something that's not really manageable. And those costs will have to be passed on. Didn't used to have to do it, you see, when we're in the European Union. Oh, there they are the days. Well, unfortunately, we're all buggered. Oh, sorry, did I just... I'll go all negative on you for a second. I do apologise. Let's be all sprightly and happy that everything is going to cost more money. Just like your mortgages. On average, around average mortgage, people have to expect to pay an extra, was it $2,700 or $2,900? Obviously, depends on your mortgage, obviously. Yeah, but on average. Now look at the interest rates for 2-year mortgages. Fixed rate. Could be as much as 6.2%. At the moment, about 5.8, 5.9 on average. Well, where's the real killer though? Is that, hide behind my microphone. Is that the, isn't just the fact that the interest rates are high. Just like my dear missus, the first house she bought, interest rates were at 15%. But the houses were cheap. The property market was not artificially maintained at a high level. Okay, it's stabilised a little bit at the moment, but they're still too high. It's just not growing. Now, the property market was up for 15%, and now it's kind of flatlined. Just like the general UK economy. And Scotland's been dragged into that as well, unfortunately. And Wales and Cornwall. Oh, well, I suppose they vote for Brexit. Maybe. Well, Brexit has pretty much buggered everything up. There's no getting away from it, no. Now, this is for foodstuffs that are imported from the European Union. Now, it doesn't sound like much, does it? 43 quid, really. But it accumulates, you see. And these bureaucrats are flipping them out of touch. They really are. And there's small delis, for instance. They don't have the buying power, so they can't. They can't suck it up. You see, they can't save it elsewhere. They just have to pay it. For them, there could be quite a large, quite massive blow. This tax, quite frankly, is the old sting in the tail of post-Brexit food inspection regime that is already driving up inflation. Actually, how can it be? Because there is no inspections yet, but there will be by the end of this year. And full inspections will be coming in January. Now, one particular supermarket. Well, it's feeling that, Raf, that it is. We'll get into that in a minute, yeah. Which makes me all warm and fuzzy inside. It shouldn't do, but it does. Because they promoted Brexit. Yeah, and that supermarket is Iceland. Well, what can you say? Haven't panned out for them, no. Last year, they haven't made any money. No, they've flatlined, they have. Everything is becoming more expensive. There he was. Talking to, who was it again now? I think it was, Nick Ferrari, I think it was. Yeah, he was talking to Nick Ferrari, one of the sons of the father who started Iceland. I think with about 300 quid loan, or something like that. And there he was going on about why don't you make no money? He said, supply chain issues. What? I say to myself, well, that's Brexit. Everything's become more expensive and and harder to source. The one thing people don't seem to talk about anymore is mixed pallet loads. Just like these delis. These delis, they try and import stuff into the United Kingdom. It's not just one product. They're not just importing a whole pallet load of camemberts, are they? No. There'll be some camembert on there. There will be some Cluminaire. There'll be some Gouda. There'll be some Cantal, some Comte. There'll be all sorts of different cheeses and meat stuffs and what have you. Yeah. Charcuterie. And it's just, every single item on that pallet will need to be, checked. It's all going to come into the phytosanitary, which will be coming in. It's kind of what's been happening with China exports into the EU. What's been going on there is going to happen. Okay, they've lightened it somewhat, but it will be in the other direction, coming into the United Kingdom, pushing up the cost of food. This isn't going to help food inflation, is it? No. All it's going to do is, put more pressure on the supply chain. And it'll push up inflation. Not just food inflation, but inflation as a whole. I keep going on about increasing the interest rates. By the third quarter, we'll be looking at around 5% interest rates on your mortgages and what have you. Well, that ain't going to help, is it? No. And besides, it's not dealing with the causes of why. Well, everything's become more expensive. Why we have inflation in the first place? Our biggest problem is the fact we can't get the stuff done. We need people. We really do. You can't just keep going on like this. There's one thing I've been talking. Well, I was talking to the missus. I do talk to the missus sometimes. Yeah, occasionally we talk. When she's a close proximity, because when the hearing aids kind of seem to work the best. But anyway, we talk sometimes. Anyway, we were talking about honesty. The problem about the problems that we're facing at the moment, inflation and what have you. No one's being honest. Very few people are being honest. You can't deal with a problem unless you admit what that problem is. Plain and simple. It doesn't work that way. You can't just bury your head in the sand and call it something else or blame it on the pandemic. Blame it on the war in Ukraine. Yes, it adds pressure, but all the other countries have that pressure and they're not suffering as much as the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom's inflation levels are just hanging on, they are. It's very little movement, it's just staying there. Now, there was thought a few months ago that the inflation levels were going to decrease. Rapidly, they said. But they didn't. Even Andy Haldane said that. Who was, one of the economists for the Bank of England. But he left with disagreement with Bailey, the current Bank of England governor. He clearly is wrong because inflation hasn't rapidly decreased. It's hanging in there. You have to admit the causes of inflation isn't like how it used to be. We're using monetary policy to increase interest rates to make everything cost more money so we spend less. We haven't got the money to spend because everything's costing too much money. Everyone's being squeezed. And now they're trying to squeeze us as well. Well, I say us. I'm in France, I escaped with it. Well, So high interest rates, to 5% on by the third quarter, maybe higher even. We'll see. And it's not as though the government can just go and borrow money. Some people say just borrow more money. Money's cheap. No, it's not anymore. Money's flipping expensive now. There's no 0.25% interest rate. No. You've got the Bank of England, the government borrowing. With the buns? What was the word buns? Bonds. The state of the bonds are at the moment. The government's having to pay around 4.8, 4.9% on government borrowing. And we've got about 2.7 trillion in debt. Well, similar debt as we've got GDP, gross domestic product. You can't keep borrowing money. No. Some of the things that Keir Starmer's been saying of late, I haven't been much of a fan of. He's obviously a bit of backtracking going on, but the 28 billion a year into the Green Prosperity Fund, or whatever they're going to call it, one of their pledges, which I wish they hung on to and saved some money elsewhere, to be honest. Well, it's not the NHS, but yeah. I kind of understand, because they would most likely have. They say it's costed, but don't mean to say they're not going to borrow. It just means to say they're going to. The idea is that they can actually. The money they spend is an investment and not just a cost. Because the problem with public services on the whole, public services are just a cost. You know, they're not investment. They're not investing in the infrastructure. But with obviously solar and wind turbines, offshore, hydro or whatever. You know, even these batteries and what have you, that's investment. You get something out of it. Obviously, you get electricity, but also people have jobs. They get to not just obviously install this stuff, import this stuff. Oh yeah, well that's another one I'll get me onto. But yeah, import this stuff. There's people in the supply chain. They're all getting a bit of money to spend more money, put back in the system, and people then, the individual, the exchequer then has a bigger wad of cash to spend. And you have an economy that can function because you're not short of electricity. Yeah, well, actually, you're not short of electricity in the United Kingdom, are you? No, because in Scotland... That's from Mad Monk. As in Scotland, they're producing more electricity than they actually use. It's getting wasted. Now, I did a video about this a few weeks ago, and, well, in that... study, it was costing around 300 million, or 150 million, something like that, anyway, a lot of money, just to turn the flipping things off. Because the thing with wind turbines is you can't allow them to produce electricity and not use it. Anything that uses any kind of permanent magnet motors and stuff like that, that energy has to be used, or you have to stop the turbines, and that's what they've been doing. They've been stopping the turbines and turning them off, basically, putting their old brakes on. But to do that actually costs money. Huge amounts of money. But in the latest survey, they reckon now it's at 1.5 billion it's costing. I think it's 1.6 billion. Yeah, just to turn the turbines off. So they're producing electricity with investment they've made to obviously build wind turbines and what have you, probably from Vestas, which is a Dutch company. It's Dutch? I think it's Dutch company. Which is also struggling. Why is it struggling? It's also struggling because of supply chain issues. Obviously, that's not because of Brexit. That's because they can't get... well, obviously, there's the metals, and they've obviously got the plastics, the resins, and most resins at the moment are coming from China. And they hold on to a lot of it for themselves, you see. Polyester resins used in fiberglass and stuff. Carbon fibre, all that kind of stuff. Well, so their struggling because they can't get the stuff they need to make these wind turbines. It's costing too much. So they've been losing money. Even though they've been getting massive contracts. They just got another new contract with the United Kingdom. Vestas, yeah. Well, these things happen, I suppose. But for Scotland, it's producing all this electricity. And it can't even use it themselves. And they're being charged exorbitant amounts for their own electricity. Yeah, they're the ones putting up with these things up there. For me personally, I actually don't look at them personally, but I wouldn't necessarily want one in my backyard going. Oh, all those poor little birdies. Yeah, I doubt that's even a thing. How many birds? Look at those turbines. They don't turn very fast. How birds can dodge them. It's people. They make it sound like it's like kind of like a food mixer, spinning around like that, chopping all the birds up. Oh, silly. Birds do fly into stuff. Anyway, look, it happened to my window over there. Yeah, they just fly straight into the window because I've got the light on, you see, and the blinds are open. Well, anyway, I'm jabbering about. I'm jabbering. I am going to have a look in the chat. Ooh, see what we've got here, shall we? That would be a nice thing to do, I reckon. Maybe. We've got Mad Monk 33. Oh, he's here. Well, Mad Monk 33, he might not be able to join us tomorrow night on a Sunday. He got a job. Well done, buddy. Well, that's true. That is the question. Okay, fair enough. Hello, Orbidge and Tom Finney. And Smith, Tommy Gunn, Orbidge, and scroll down. Oh, Tommy Gunn, Tom Finney, Coral Reeves, hello there. And don't scrolling. No? Okay. Was it rolling? Something like that. And Stream Elements has got nothing to do with the chat. No. And so Lowy the Cat. Pork markets. Oh, God, already? Is it that time already?
We'll be in Beijing, opening up new pork markets.
There you go, said Larry the Cat. And Cafal, hello there, Cafal. Hey, Reagan, I want that t-shirt. Oh, do you fancy a hand for my nuts? It's quite odd. I've been wearing it most of the afternoon, actually. Probably a bit smelly. And Casper Northern, are you there? And Derek R. Cheddar cheese has disappeared from Luxembourg. Not even Irish cheddar? Luckily, the local cheeses are fantastic. Great. Good. You're okay then. Wonder how interest rates will affect national debt repayments. Like I say, it's gone up at 4.8, 4.9% of areas. Obviously, it jumps down a bit because the bond market's all gone a bit to pot. I wonder who helped there. Was it anything to do with Liz Truss? Maybe. Luckily, that wasn't quite as bad as it was expected. What did they say? There was about 80 billion in bonds they were going to sell, or something like that. That was a lot less in the end. Hello, Reagan. I hope you're well. And scroll down. Number 3. Good evening. I do apologise for running late and what have you, because I thought I'd get it done in time and I hadn't. And I was kind of, oh my God, half the stuff wasn't on. It wasn't talking to each other. No. Yeah, the all USB Watsits that keep plugged in everywhere. All the things that allow me to do that. Not literally. No, it's just the sound effect. Okay? Yeah. And also the things that allow me to do like the pork markets or...
That is a disgrace.
Oh. Or her. Again. It's a disgrace. I know it is, and you certainly are. And Joe, hello there. I hope you're well, my friend. Thank you for all your lovely comments in the videos. I do appreciate them. I do read them as well. Did you know that? It's funny, isn't it? I do actually read the comments in the videos. I'm mad because it's whether I'm in the toilet, whether I'm in the toilet, on the toilet, or in the bath. Oh, there I am. Wet hands. Yeah, it does happen sometimes. Going through the comments, it takes flipping ages. But I do like to see. And Sophie shorts. I got shorts on. I'll just have you know. Yeah. Smith, hello. No food security in the United Kingdom. Not at all. Oh my God, it's getting worse. The best thing people can do in the United Kingdom is think about, well, growing a bit of food themselves. Don't have to be a lot, just some. Just think of it this way. If you grow a tomato, that's one less tomato that you're going to have to buy, which means that maybe somebody who's got less money than you and can't really afford a tomato might be able to get one. Instead of the price of the tomatoes going up because supply chain issues and what have you, pushing the prices up. So if we kind of, grow a little bit, we might be able to, we could help a little bit at the same time. Yeah, that's strange, isn't it? That's how the world works, I suppose. I I have that effect sometimes. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Oh, what did Jesus say? I keep falling asleep. I almost missed you. Oh no, don't do that. Do you know what? I am absolutely shat. I'm struggling at the moment because I'm like a thyroid. It's caused me all sorts of problems. Luckily, I had my test come back and my levels have come back up. So they're not, it's sort of lower the range, so not too bad. So I was quite pleased about that because, of course, they were like, oh, yeah. They upped my meds. Yeah, I need to be medicated. My poor missus. The UK has never really had food security, says Mad Monk 33, and I happen to agree. Well, it has not been quite as bad as it is now. Yeah. It hasn't had food security for about 300 odd years. It's just crazy. Maybe longer. It's just nuts. And I think part of the problem is I do think we're relying heavily on imports now. As individuals, we don't grow anything anymore. I remember growing up, my mum used to grow a few little veggies in the back garden during the season, and it all helped. And oh my God, it tastes so much better. I don't understand why people don't grow food. Okay, it's a lot of work. I admit, it can be a hell of a lot of work. And then you get failures and stuff like that, and it's incredibly disappointing when that happens, as it is. And you think, why did I bother? But you got to pick yourself up, because next year, that crop you failed this year might be your best crop next year. It's just that because the climate and the weather and stuff like that, you see. I need to plug my phone in. Oh, my giddy aunt's going to go beep. I don't want that to happen. No. I'm just plugging my phone in. Don't go anywhere. It's going to take me seconds. Oh, it's done already. Can't be bad. Well. Oh, there. Well, I've been on the roof today. Yeah. On the roof. No, not like Fiddler on the roof. No, I've been on the roof ripping tiles off the roof. Not this roof. No, this roof's like okay-ish. Yeah, it's the barn roof. Yeah, I was dirty, grubby I was. Oh, crikey, it's more than doing that. It was nasty. Yeah, there's the old Romany tiles, and you got all sorts of nasty stuff underneath there. Like poo. Yeah, a bit like your rivers and seas in the UK. Yeah, there's all little droplets of rabbit poo? No, mouse poo, and probably rat poo, and stuff. I've probably got Wheels disease now. I won't be surprised. Yeah. That'll explain it. Maybe. Oh, I'll carry on. Why ain't that moving? Oh, there you go. I'm scrolling now, I am. Scrolling down. I've got 49 people there now. Did somebody predict a riot? Oh, my giddy aunt. Oh, my nigga was a record. Look at my records. Properly. Here we go. I bought French cheese for my mum today. Half the price in a little. Oh, yeah, because you're Portugal. Yeah, we bought some cheese today. Yeah. Just, what do we get? Cantal. Just a young Cantal. Yeah. No food security in the United Kingdom. Reckon it's a 5-hour stream? No, live stream, not today. Because I think I would literally collapse before I got that far, Reckon. Dude. Or on small boats. Oh, my giddy aunt, could be. We could do that. Do you know what they ought to do? They could be importing the food for us, and then we'll welcome them with open arms. Bring some cheese with you, or something. Yeah, some French cheeses for the delicatessens. Damn me. I just find everything very much, how to put it, frustrating. It just seems like madness. Everything is just madness. It's just one load of madness after another. That's what it feels like. It's almost as mad as, if I set this up properly, because I forgot to do it. I don't know, you might have seen this. Oh, okay, you might have done. But you might not have done. It's a disgrace. Oh. Well, here it is. Have you seen this? Apparently that's not a party. And there definitely was no wine and cheese. Plenty of beer.
It's not her boyfriend. No, it's not.
Can we spread that? Right, let's make sure that gets the reference.
Hear what they're saying?
It's for party.
As long as we don't scream it, we're like.
You're just bending the rules, apparently. That doesn't look like. Abiding by the rules. And like I say, there definitely was no wine or cheese. What a Mickey take, wouldn't you say? Yeah, I would say so. And so they're eating all the wine and flipping cheese, and the delicatessens, they can't get any. Well, they can, but they're going to have to pay an extra 40-odd quid for every single consignment. Disgusting bunch of toe rags, wouldn't you say? And all those times that Alexander Boris the Pfeffel Johnson, he said, he said, oh, the rules were followed at all times. Or at least that's what I was told. Prat. Now I keep hearing on, reading them. Yeah, people say, well, we should just stop giving them airtime. Leave them alone and just, let's move on, shall we? Some people saying it because obviously they're like Boris Johnson's sycophants. Oh, I love the Boris. He's one of us. Yeah. And then you got the others who don't give him airtime because, shouldn't be talking about him. Don't talk about him because, just go away. No, he won't. No. The thing is, you see, he sells papers like this new column and he's getting paid £1 million for, which is also a breach of the, parliamentary rule. He informed them about an hour before. Well, you're supposed to actually ask for permission. Yeah. All ex-ministers and prime ministers and stuff. Yeah. It's a parliamentary committee or whatever they call it. I don't know what's it called. Can't remember now. But yeah, he's a toe rag. But I think you have to count it. Otherwise, you're just going to allow all these people to keep spreading all this rubbish. And you allow these people to, to just carry on as though nothing flipping happened and all those bodies piled high get forgot about. No. I think we need to counter their argument. Not counter their argument necessarily, but we need to, if they say something, we need to, bring them down. I think all this thing, don't talk about them, you give them airtime. I don't buy it. They won't go away. No. They're like one of them zits that keep coming back. I've grown out of that, thankfully. Oh my giddy aunt. My poor mother having to clean that mirror. But anyway, on that note, what's in the chat? Oh my idiot, come back, chat. Neil Flood, hello there. David Warburton, he's another Brexit numpty. Yeah, has just said that he is resigning his seat. Somerton and Frome. Oh, the fourth Tory by-election. Is this over Boris Johnson? Oh, must have a look, mustn't we? Yeah, we'll have a look at that in a sec. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, and the other one as well. You got David Warburton. And who's the other numpty? Odie, that's it. What's his name? Something Odie. I've got his name now. Oh, anyway, his very own investment company. Yeah, I decided to chuck him out, and now it's been all disbanded and broken up. It is because he's that really ugly geezer. Oh, I'm being all horrible now. Shouldn't matter the way people look and all. That's what people are telling me. But so what? I'm an ugly bugger as well, so I don't care. I can say it. Yeah. There you go. Told you. Anyway, he's because he's how to put it, inappropriate. He was, he was all like inappropriate. In this case, it's more like that. But what a horrid cretin is. And don't forget about Chris Minody. That's a Chris Minody. And that he's he was in cahoots. He was a cahoots. He was in cahoots with old what's his name again? Oh, the Chancellor of the Exchequer. A previous one. Oh, the one who buggered everything up. Remember him? Liz Truss's partner in crime. Well, there he was, feeding old Chris Minody with information. Well, the whole idea was, let's make the pound plummet and we make a shitload more money. Because Chris Minody has got is notorious he is for betting against the UK. He's a traitor. That's what he is. Yeah. There you go. I said it. Hello, Zach Ahmed. I hope you're well. And Top Smoke. Oh, Top Smoke. They know it's death by 1,000 cuts. Exactly what it is. And that's exactly what's happening in the United Kingdom. We really need to wake up fast and do something about this. I know the other day I uploaded a video because I was extremely disappointed in Labour, and I still am. And I don't buy the argument that about, what will the press do? I'll give him a hard time, they will. Yeah, that's bollocks. Sorry. All that bollocks. Yes, I give him a hard time. I could grow a pair of, yeah, that's what you need to do. But, quite frankly, I don't buy the arguments, though. But anyway, that's another story. But, anyway, where was I? Death by 1,000 cuts. We need to wake up, people. We need to get these people out as quick as possible, even if it is Labour, whoever it might be. I do understand that. I do get that. I was just angry and frustrated the other day, and it's just, as a bit of a greenie and what have you, I just tend to think that if we don't look after the place that we live, we are buggered anyway. So look at the water levels at the moment. For Christ's sake. We do not have enough water to sustain us. We're using more water from the reservoirs than that's actually going into the reservoirs. Work that one out. Like, that's not going to end well. No. Sorry. Do. And Councillor Northern, how are you? Oh, Lee's there. Oh, hello, Lee. Where's Lee? Lee calling. Evening all, he goes. Evening all. Hope you're well, friend. Hope you're well. Yeah. Do. Bum. He was my MP. Oh, my giddy aunt, really? Poor you. Sorry. Condolences, Phil Smith. That's bollocks, says Sue Larry. That's bollocks. Ollocks. Yeah, Ollocks. Mm-hmm. One's a liar, always a liar. And that's something I cannot, I've said a million times before, but it's something I cannot stand. I really want some honesty. I really want people to be, how to put it, just decent with the people who vote me in.
So,
just
you have accepted the truth.
What was that? Oh, it's Reagan. Hello, Reagan. Big thank you, Allshorts, from you and all those who help support my channel. Yeah, no worries, buddy. Reaching over 100 subscribers. Brilliant. I'll be 1,000 next. And you better get yourself a little monetised and that. And you better invest in this stuff. That's what I do. I spend too much stuff on tech. We can't feed ourselves. Well, I can because we grow our food. That's fine. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, that's not a problem. Besides, I'm fat. I've got reserves. There you go. Well, the thing about these channels is they do take a little bit of investment. Not be a huge amount. Don't have to be. I'm a little bit kind of bit silly with it sometimes. Yeah, I buy. This was a gift. I was from a member of the family, but because my microphone stand was a little bit. It was like a hinged bit of wood. It kind of worked, but it has to serve 2 computers, so that was the problem. So I had to be able to move it back. So anyway, you got me this. You didn't get me anyone. You can have it. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Well. Enough about my microphone stand. It's a bit phallic, isn't it? You know, oh, what did I say? So I've got a glowy mic stand. Okay, I'll shut up now. Well, yeah, well done, Reagan. There's some. Do you know what? The first few subscribers are the hardest, and they take the longest. Unless you do something which is like, quite how to put it, a very broad audience, fairly generic content. But they go nowhere. That's the problem. You might get loads of views and stuff like that, but they have no substance. At least what you're doing has substance, you know. You're actually trying to help people and do things others. It's kind of what you're doing here. It's like my videos that I upload. If I don't get the views in the first couple of days, yeah, they're done for, generally speaking. Unless they're relatively evergreen. Like the one I did uploaded this morning. Well, uploaded last night actually. But yeah, the one on Orador Glen. That I just uploaded this morning, and that video, I'll retitle it after a few days, and I'll just make it a bit of generic title about Orador Glen. But the point about it is, you see, is that it's some evergreen content, and there'll be searchable content. So I hope it would grow naturally progression over a period of time. Whereas any trending content, news related content, like we're talking about tonight, it's with no interest. No one's going to watch it. It's just dead in the water. That's the problem. You know, with these types of channels, if you can't get the views in the first few days, the video's dead. So this is where you got to be really careful when you're making videos. If you spend too much time editing and making them all lovely and glitzy and stuff like that, you're missing the boat. Missing the moment. Another thing is just doing a lot of work, and it's going to have a very limited time frame. So anyway, that's my little thing. Yeah, I'll shut up now. Oh, there. So Joe says, at the rate the British economy is going, Labour, well, I keep go about this better. Gets any power or leverage, it's already too late now, I think, personally. Yeah, if you even if Labour gets into power, they're going to have to go back on their pledge, pledge what they've said regarding Brexit, and you know. The only way I think we cannot make Brexit work, but mitigate Brexit, is with is accepting some jurisdiction. I know I said this before, via the European Court of Justice. Without that, you're not going to get anywhere. You're dead in the water. You just are. It's the one thing that is made the UK, these Brexit negotiators step back from the deals. There's so many things that we could have had. The Erasmus, we could have had the CE, access to EU reach, all that stuff. But everything, where there's money, there's a writ. There's always going to have to be some legislation, some legal procedures. Not necessarily straight away, but in the future, there certainly will. People sue. And there needs to be a court of the land. In this case, the land is the EU. Or lands. Well, hello, Simon Says. I hope you're well. And Jeremy Goff. Oh, my giddy aunt is Jeremy Goff's in the house. Dead in the water will soon be. Soon with all the poop. And there's plenty of that too. Oh, my giddy aunt. It's flipping everywhere it is. Unfortunately. Blimey. Can't get away from it in the UK. It's like a moat. You've got a moat of shit. I'm surprised actually that they can actually, those engines, with all the props and whatever, I'm really surprised they can churn their way through that, chopping all those turds up. And sanitary products, getting all winding round the prop. Oh my god, what an awful thought that is. Well. Oh, what's whiskey? Oh no, that ain't whiskey, no, it's actually energy drink. Sorry. Yeah, but it has got rum in it.
So, you have accepted the truth.
Oh, Gavin Slims, thank you very much. Do you think Brexiters and Tories are in denial? In denial about how badly Brexit has damaged the UK economy, or they just don't care? They're more interested in justifying their own actions. As soon as they say, this ain't going so well, they feel themselves they feel that they're failed, or that they were wrong, and they never want to be wrong. Too narcissistic. Yeah. Although some people have said, well, Brexit is shit, and admitted they made a mistake. Like Baroness Jenny Jones, the greedy, the one who put through that amendment, or change a couple of words, whatever to that civil disobedience bill. The thing that really annoyed me and made me angry, because I thought it was something disgusting. I still do. Don't care what Phil Morehouse says. Can you stop sending me comments about what Phil Morehouse said and explained it? I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I really don't buy it. It don't work like that. No. It's silly. Yeah. Phil Morehouse will say whatever he wants, or whatever he can to try and swing people to Labour. Now, I'm kind of like, I'm either one way or the other. I'll go with what I think is best for the country. At the moment, it's probably still going to be Labour, to be honest. I know I had a bit of a rant, but on the other hand, I can't. We just need to get Tories out, plain and simple. But I do worry that Labour might end up with too much power. That's what I do worry about, as well. Anyway, where were we? Joe. Oh, used to be a mere mention, but now it is common for people to be warned of the low quality of English water, and that they should drink bottled water, preferentially not British. The problem with that is, didn't Evian get banned or something, or taxed or something? Something happened with Evian water in the UK, because it's obviously imported. Now, we got well water here. Oh, look, we dug a well. Yes, we did that mad thing, and got a spade and dig a big round and a very deep hole by hand. Oh my god, that took ages, and I was orange. I looked like Donald Trump, I tell you. And so did my son Dizzy, Darren. He looked like Donald Trump as well. We were all bright orange with clay. We couldn't get our clothes clean, no matter how hard we tried. And then the missus turns up and she sorted it all out. She's brilliant. We were a hell of a mess. But anyway, we dug a blinking great hole, and then I concrete blocked it all up. And and that's how we feed the water to this house. With a pump. Well, there's two pumps actually. There's one down the bottom of the well to the main lift, and then the one that puts the pressure into the house with a big old cylinder. Yeah, pressure cylinder thing. Got a big bladder inside. Not a human bladder, no. It could be wee. No, like a plastic rubber bladder inside. Keep the pressure going. And and the switch. Basically, when the pressure comes out, the switch comes on, and the pump operates. And that's all run by the solar. So that's pretty eco, isn't it? But and we test that once a year. And we've never ever had high nitrates or anything like that, because where we are, you see, there's nothing here. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere, so the water should be relatively clean. And and it is. And we've done it for E. coli as well, actually, tests. Yeah, That was one we're a bit worried about because we had all the stomach problems, you see. So we thought we'd better get that one done again, and that was clear. So we were very happy. So good. Our water is good. Yeah. Apart from what we don't do, I'll tell you what we don't do. We don't just take it out of the tap and drink it. No, that we use that water just in case. Although it's always tested fine, but just in case there is a problem and we don't know about it. So there could be a problem in between tests. So what we do is we do use some bottled water for just drink them, have you? Which I need to do something about really, because plastic. The amount of plastic bottles we get is just wrong. So we need to sort this one out. And it's probably going to be we get like a Berkeley water filter, and they're think of like a bread jug. All the water's filtered out already, but it's a bit like. But we won't go to that next stage. It's like a bread jug, but it's got these big old long solid carbon things. Yeah, it's a proper thing. Yeah, and those things they're really good actually. Anyway, we won't get one of them, but they're not very cheap as anything. But hello, Cathal. Hope you're well. Oh, the Great Thames wet wipe patch. God. You realise a lot of these wet wipes are fiberglass. You realise a lot of these nappies are fiberglass. Do you know what you can't do to fiberglass? You can't burn it and they won't rot down. No. Now, I'll give you a little idea, a little story, what have you. Now, this is totally, obviously no one know now, even at the time in it, because, but I used to anyway, it wasn't me. Some of the boat yards where we used to, hang around and what have you, but there's boat builders, you see. And I've worked on the boat yards quite several, as a chippy and that. Doing gunnels and rubbing strakes and stuff like that on boats, stuff like that, in the superstructure. And help my man out. And some of the boat yards, such as Colvick Craft, Suncraft, Colvick Craft, and Phil. Anyway, when they build these big old fiberglass boats, they build a plug, they then build a mould and loads of other little moulds in it as well, whether it be like for the seats and stuff like that, if there's any in the foredecks and all that sort of stuff. The problem is everything obviously has a lifespan, because you get to a point where you can't use that mould anymore. It becomes like perforated or pimples or something, and you can't polish it out anymore. So what do they do to get rid of them? They cut them up sometimes, but they burn them. That's what they were doing at the time. They were burning them. They're black smoke. But what would happen is all the resin for these fiberglass boats would just get burnt off, all the resin. So all the shiny stuff and all the stuff that holds all the fibres together, and you get left with this whopping great wad. So collapsed kind of fiberglass, like strands of fiberglass, which is literally basically just fibre and glass basically, and it's a silica, and it's literally just flop. What can you do with it? How do you separate the resin from the fiberglass? And we've got all these boats everywhere. And a similar problem is boats and boat yards is sitting there, deteriorating, breaking down and what have you, and they can't do nothing with them. And people try and burn them and they can't. You can't burn fiberglass, obviously, because of what it is. Number 3, Allshorts. Plastic is horrendous. You flipping no way. You don't say it is horrendous. What can we do about it at the moment? And no one seems to listen. That's the problem. I'm always talking about this stuff. Apart from my water bottles, actually, we don't have we've got bins now. We've got a bin now. But for about 8 years, we had 8 years? Longer than that. Oh, anyway, about 8-9 years. No, longer than that. Crikey, a lot longer than that. 13 years, we had no bin. At all. We were very, very, very careful. But we have got a small bin now, which comes collected once a fortnight. But it's, plastic is absolutely hot. So there's no way it is cheaper than reusable glass bottles. I don't know if that's accurate. It's no way is it cheaper. I'll tell you what it is it takes energy to clean it. The glass. It's all steamed and shit like that. But you've got to move it from part A to from A to B. But also there's breakages. But also there's some people who don't do it. They don't bother. Unless you do the old deposit system like we had before. Can you remember the old Corona bottles? But these plastic bottles, when, if you heard of a company called Fibrinol, and they were plastic bottle manufacturers for Coleman's and what have you. Well, my father-in-law used to work for them, and those bottles were churned out for pittance. Cost nothing. It costs something. Obviously, you've got labour and stuff like that. And they've got the automisation. They've got automated all the production lines and what have you. And but they put it there. They're just cheap. Really, really, really cheap. Most of it be by AI now. They'll be staff anyway. Will they not now? This was 3 years ago. This was. So I don't know if it'd be cheap. But I don't know. I don't buy that glass bottles are cheaper. Don't get me wrong. I'd prefer them, and I think it's the right way to go. But we need to stop buying stuff like that. That's the answer. Just like me and our, water bottles and stuff like that. The other thing for me, I have, because I've got kidney stones at the moment. Oh, yeah, okay, and the doctor says I've got water that's over 7%, over 7 on the pH level. So at the moment I've got water that's at 7.7. Which is, I have to admit, I think it's working because I'm drinking more water for a start, and also the pain is starting to go. So I'm hoping that the little nasty, the 4mm they were, I don't want that 4mm stone going through my pee out. No. Be like the little fish going the other way. I don't want that. No, that's a frightening thought. Because my son had that. Matthew. He had stones as well. And it was excruciating pain. Oh, has anyone here had kidney stones? Well, I had the scan about 3 weeks ago. And I got 2 stones, one on each side. But I've been having this water, just drinking water. Lots and lots of water. 2 litres a day I've got to drink, apparently. But I think it's working, though. I feel a lot better. A lot better. Hello, oh gosh, I hope you're well, my friend. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, it's gosh. Oh gosh is here. Yes, and just saying. If you're talking about the coalition government between the Lib Dems and Labour, that's workable. I hope that is a thing. I hope that is a possibility. That may... So never we're going to get to any kind of proportional representation, because it's not going to happen. Now, Labour did say they'd do that, didn't they, at one point? But that's... No. When they get into power, it won't happen. It just won't. Promise you that. I'd put money on it. That won't happen. I got no money. Try to squeeze that out of me. I'll rock out a blood out of a stone, it'll be. Yeah. It took a moment, but... Oh, what's that Larry's cat say? Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot? You son. I'll play it. Oh, very good. We've got jokes in the house. Have you jokes? Are they old wooden trawlers? Are they old wooden trawlers?
So, you have accepted the truth.
You don't know fishing trawlers? Or are there any? Or do you mean are there any old wooden fishing trawlers? Well, there are still some wooden fishing trawlers out there, but they take a hell of a lot of maintenance. Now, when we'd you can all those, as I said, we did deal with all sorts of stuff. Quite often end up going down to the coast, what have you, and doing repairs on some of the fishing boats. Some of just they're just a little 20-foot boats, quite small, sitting on the beach, ready to be towed, to be launched. And there'd be things like bent prop shafts and stuff like that, or it will be a stern gland or something like that. It's leaking, so we've got to repack it for them, that sort of stuff. And you do it on the beach, literally on the beach, and drawing the old shaft out, and then either replacing the shaft or doing the stern gland and stuff like that. That sort of stuff for fishermen. And they often had that sort of jobs to do, or for the crab, little crab boats and that as well. And most of them are wood, either clinker or large strap, or basically. So basically, what happens when you plank a hull? So you got all your forms, think of your formers, your bulkheads. You plank your hull, and all those planks, none of them are straight. They're going to be tapered. You plane them all in, what have you, but it's a gap, and in that gap you use cork and cotton. So you just ram that in. You got a corking tool, it's a bit like a bolster, a bit like a wide, stone chisel. You tap that into your bolt, what happens is when it goes into the water, it all swells up. Now, when it comes up before pre-painting and stuff, they use linseed oil type putties and stuff like that to do all the filling and what have you. A bit like like window putty, and it's just how it is. It's just how it used to be. And as the boat goes in the water, it all swells up and tightens up, and then it doesn't leak. Well, it's not supposed to anyway. If it does, you have a bilge pump, and it's constantly pump water. But that's just how it used to be. Wooden boats are lovely, but as soon as you take them out of the water and they dry out, they all go gappy, and and you've got to think about I think we need to recork that. So a good time to do it, you say, is If you've got a wooden hull that has been out of the water for a while and it has dried out and it's all opened up, so it's really shrunk, the board's already shrunk, you've got bigger gaps, that's time to cork it. You cork it with a cork and cotton, and what happens when it swells up, those joints will be even tighter. It's just how it is, it's just how it's done. No, it's just like the old clinker build. Clinker, when people think of clinker build boats, they think of where the board. What am I talking about boats for? I'll just finish what I'm doing and I'll move on to what I was supposed to be doing. You've got a board like that, and you've got a board like that. Well, that's not actually clinker. No. Clinker is the way or the method of actually attaching those boards to your, to your bulkheads or your formers. Yeah. That's all it is. And basically what it is you have a clinker tool, and a clinker tool is like a... how do you explain it? It's like, I think of a rod with like a dome, inverted dome inside, right? And my dad would have the tool on the outside, and you push the rivet through, and I'll be on the inside, or the other, well, either way. Anyway, one of us would be tapping the clinker tool and doming that copper rivet.
You have
it's just how it's done.
the truth.
Anyway, that kind of digressed there, didn't I? Oh dear. Anyway, the UK has gone to pot, and Brexit isn't. Well, it's not helping. No, you got Iceland. They're struggling now. Like I say, they're not making any money anyway, but they're struggling because, they've been ordered. Oh, Iceland. Oh, whereabouts is it? Oh, it's in Ireland. Yeah, that Iceland in Ireland. Because of the foodstuffs coming from the United Kingdom isn't checked, and obviously then that doesn't comply with European Union rules. So they've been ordered to recall all the meat that is, that's been sold in that store. The problem is most people have eaten it. You don't know where it's from though. Probably from places like, obviously from Australia and all that. Wherever the meat is coming from, that's entering the United Kingdom's food chain. It's not checked. You don't know the origin of it. That is really worrying. Now, next time you go to to your delicatessen or to the flipping meat counter or what have you, to the butchers or whatever. I don't suppose you ever have butchers these days. But you go to your meat counter at the supermarket. You might want to ask where the actual meat comes from. They might not even know. Because it's not getting checked on imports. There's no phytosanitaries. We don't know if it's in good. Oh, that is coming in though, but we don't know if it's in good health. Well, it'll be good. It'll be dead, but you know what I mean. It will be healthy for you. Obviously, meat is dead. Obviously, when they chop their heads off, and do all that sort of stuff. They gut. And that's horrible. Either way, it's not going to be. Well, if you don't know where it's coming from, it could be from mega farms in Australia, New Zealand. It could be from anywhere. And it's we need to know where it comes from. Could be from somewhere else. Might not even be meat. It might not even be cow or pork. No, pig, cochon. No, it could be something else. I wonder what it could be. It could be human. It could be. Who's to tell? How would you know? No checks have been done. Frightening, wouldn't you say? Oh, did you? Oh, nice one. Cheers, buddy. Top Smoke said, I got you a shout out on Big Clive night. Oh, cheers, friend. Thank you very much. Japan recycles plastic into pellets, which then gets mixed into the tarmac for stronger roads. What a really good idea. They could do that with fiberglass. You can't crush it into pellets, though, because of strands. You'd have to have a way of cutting it. But... Now, when we mix concrete, there is you can get fiberglass reinforcement, which is like fibres that you add into your concrete for reinforcement. Is there any way we could separate the resin from the fiberglass strands and use that? I don't know, just throwing it out there, maybe. Did I see a super chat? I think I did. Up at top chat. Up we go. Alan Thomas, hello there. Towards some new Wilkinsons. What are you saying? If they do, thanks, Alan. If the DUP continues their hissy fit, do you think Sunak will impose a direct rule in Northern Ireland with the assistance of the Republic of Ireland? No. He won't interfere. He won't interfere. He's too weak. Look what he did to Boris the Johnson. Boris the Bevel Johnson. The blonde Boris mutant variant regarding the honours, the peerages. He's just nothing to do with me. He kind of, tried to make out, didn't he? I don't think he will. I don't think he'll do anything. Yeah, I don't think he will. Well, the DUP is losing support anyway. So maybe they'll be worthless anyway. They'll have no value. Do you think Brexiters and Tories... Oh, no, I've done that already. Cheers, friend. Thank you very much. Back onto that one. Live chat. Tight, was it? Oh, what? Next time Norwich rebuilds the UEA. Oh my god, the UEA. Oh my god, in Norwich. Because I'm from Norwich, you see. Yeah, I'm not from Norwich itself. I was born in Thorpe St Andrew, I was. Yeah. And then moved to Sow House with the missus. And now I'm in France. But I know the UEA because my kids went there. And I did for a bit as well, to be fair. And, the UEA, oh my god, the University of East Anglia. Now, that actually is just like a big concrete lot of stuff. Yeah, it's very modern, and it looks a bit like shit now. I'm absolutely honest about it, it doesn't look like shit. But it got awards and that, you see, at the time. Yeah, it got awards. So... Where was it? What about UEA? So next time Norwich rebuilds the UEA, they could use fiberglass there. Maybe next time they'll add some colour. Maybe. God, that place is grey. Literally just grey. Although it does have lovely gardens and you got the river and stuff, and lovely walks around there. It is actually quite nice. It's a bit I think I was trying to be something that isn't. It's a bit uninspiring, I would say. I thought we grew concrete is. Oh no! You got to have the not the Midas touch. No, it's like the concrete touch. You got to have the Mike Graham touch. Yeah, he reckons you can grow concrete off talk radio. He's a complete yeah.
Kipper.
That he is. He can't help it. Poor little Mike Graham. Looks like a puffer fish. They can do that with old tyres as well. Well, I use old tyres in the garden. I'm doing tyre towers for the potatoes at the minute, and it seems to be working. I'm quite amazed how much growth I've got out of the top already. So I keep adding tyres, I keep adding soil. That's what I'm going to do. I think I'm 3 up now, but I hope I can get to 6 tyres. Colin 6 here says, I need to know how the animal's treated. Unfortunately, in the United Kingdom, nobody knows at the moment, unless you're buying organic or local and stuff like that. I think that's the key, isn't it? Is to support your local farmers and stuff like that, because they do need support. And I'm not talking about the big people. Even the big farmers are struggling. They're struggling to be able to. They're getting a lot of losses, and also with the price of grain and what have you, that's them going up and down, left, right, and centre. And you've got feed grain and you've got food grain, stuff that we eat, and it's jumping up and down all over the flipping place. And obviously, the war in Ukraine, all the prices got pushed right up, and now they've come down a bit now. And it's the feed grain, for instance, has come right down. See, a lot of farmers are giving up. I suppose there's this need for the feed. And the problem is, one of the problems is all that water is being used to produce these crops. And if they get wasted, you've used the water. I know you don't actually, water never really goes, but it gets redistributed. Think of it this way, right? If we're importing foodstuffs that we do, no food security in the United Kingdom. You're importing food into the United Kingdom. What are you also importing? You're not just importing food, are you? You're redistributing water. Think of a carrot, it's like 90% water or something stupid else, some crazy amount of water in a carrot, in a cucumber. In the cucumber. Crazy amounts of water. And if you're importing those, well, quite frankly, you're moving water that has been, taken from reservoirs, say, for instance, let's argument say they've been grown in, I don't know, the Netherlands, for instance, and then they end up in the UK, where you're moving water, not just the food itself, from one country to the next. Now, when you get countries like Morocco and what have you growing things like tomatoes and stuff like that, and peppers and what have you, well, obviously places like that their supply of water has already been hit because of global warming and stuff like that. And you've seen the reservoirs, you've seen the rivers, there ain't no water in them. No. I tell you what doesn't help is when some Indian minister in India decides to have one of the flipping reservoirs emptied. Not with a pump, they just kind of they stop flowing and let water flow out. Empty the reservoir because he dropped his mobile phone in the reservoir. If you think I'm kidding you, check it out. Do a search. Because it's exactly what he did. Obviously, the phone was knackered. it was buggered. It'd been in the water. I know they can, they're sort of partly waterproof now, but not to that degree. High pressure and that depth. It's a reservoir, for God's sake. God, people. They're nuts. Sophie Short says, I won't even eat eggs now. My dear wife, she's struggling with eggs at the moment. Now, not so much now, but we used to have chickens. Well, actually, we had a bit of everything, actually. We had a bit of a menagerie going there. We had chickens, ducks, we had sheep, goats, we had all sorts of stuff here. Animals, that is. Yeah, and the thing about the eggs was that we found that they were actually costing us more to keep the chickens than what we did, than what we actually got in eggs. It wasn't cost effective. And the same with because my missus is vegetarian anyway regarding meat and what have you. So we didn't they just keep the grass down and stuff like that, which they did a terrible job. All they do is they congregate in one area. So you have to physically have to move them around the field, which means you've got to split the field up into a million different little pens and stuff to get them to eat the grass. So do you know what? It's cheaper just to cut the grass. It really is. And everything revolves around. It shouldn't, but it does. It revolves around money. And if you can make a saving elsewhere, that's kind of what you do. And also, it stopped us being able to do what we want to do because we had to think about who's going to look after this, who's going to look after that, who's going to look after the chickens, who's going to put the ducks away at night and stuff like that because they're awkward buggers. Yeah. And then there's the sheep as well. And you always get problems. Now, we had Ruby and what happened, she got blowfly. And blowfly is, well, it's a fly. All right? But what it does, it lays its maggots in the skin of the actual sheep, in the wool, in the land, and they burrow. This is so gross. They burrow into the sheep's flesh. Now we didn't realise there was anything wrong, but I thought, well, look at that. Hang on, what's Ruby doing? And she was a big old Suffolk sheep. She was huge. Anyway, she was scratching against the post. What's going on over there? So I went out there to see if she's alright and what have you. And half her fleece was starting to fall off. Sort of hanging on. Oh my God, that was gross. When I pulled that fleece, maggots, loads of them just wiggling through her flesh. And she's walking around like this. No wonder she was just starting to get distressed. She was. Anyway, what we did is I shared her. Which was gross because I was cutting like maggots up with the shears. That was lovely. That was, yeah. Anyway, I shared her, and then what we did is we literally just constantly treated her. And what we found, what really worked, was a hacksaw blade. I put a bit of tape around one end to keep the skin on my fingers, and then literally scratching the surface, She wanted to scratch all the time, so we scratched her with a hacksaw blade, and the maggots would come out of the flesh. It's like a flipping horror movie. I just thought I'd share that with you. Nice, aren't I? So yeah, that's just one of the trials and tribulations of having sheep and why you have to dip them. Yeah. But then, obviously, when you dip them, you're obviously having to dip them in pesticide. Yeah. Which isn't great for them, I have to admit. But there again, nor was blowfly. Because that would have killed her. But anyway, she went on, lived strong, and what have you, and we see her occasionally. She's still about. And she's, when we gave her away, she'd had 5 lambs, and the record 6. So, she did very well. Anyway, I digress. Oh, so even vegetarianism food is tainted. Well, the problem with vegetarian food is I don't consider that food. Not because it's vegetarian, because if you make it yourself, it's different, obviously. But if you're buying that stuff in packets, like there's 4 veggie burgers in a cardboard box that look like kind of like been squeezed out of some kind of mastic gun, yeah, bizarre, or cut out of a cookie cutter or something like that. Well, do you actually know what's in it? You got to remember, but when you see those ingredients listed, if it's under a certain percentage, they don't have to put it into the ingredients list. Be toxic. They're poisoning you. No, I know. Anyway, it's just nuts. No, not being vegetarian. I get that. I get that. My dear missus is vegetarian, but she just what she tends to do. She just leaves out the meat. She just doesn't have meat. She might have something else. She does eat. To be fair though, actually, she's not a proper vegetarian. She will eat fish. Yeah. So unless I got the heads on, and then she won't touch them. Scroll down. Soya milk consumes more energy and water than cow's milk. Oh, blimey. I didn't know that. The soya milk. Oh, crikey. So it's more... Well, I suppose the milk is... Yeah, I can get that. I get about the water. Because obviously the cow itself has to have water. So, I know you say, the poor cows and stuff and that, but the thing is, that with the cows is, if we didn't, we wouldn't, okay, they might be in the wild, maybe, or a zoo, but, we breed them, don't we? Well, there again, if we left them to their own devices, you see the bull, my God, size those naggers. Flip it now, they can serve us, I'll tell you. Anyway, the Japanese report. Soy milk consumes more energy and water than, cow's milk, okay. Just when I meet... I do apologise, Doc Davies. Hello there. Mark's is a vet too. I won't call that being a vet. Or we had the vet in there plenty of times. That's the thing you see. It's all costs. And it was costing us a flipping fortune. Because here in France, we had to tag them. You have to put air tags in. Which is a horrible thing to do. And you have to put them in within a certain amount of hours of a lamb being born. So you've got the flipping huge tags, which are for a full-sized sheep, mouton. You've got to have these get tags on, and the problem is they get caught in the fences and they rip their ears. Flipping awful. And then the little boy lambs. If you don't want any kind of frisky ones, what you do is you have to do the knackers, and you do them. You repair bricks. No, still not bricks. No, well, you have a special gun. And you put a band that goes on the gun. So you squeeze it in, and it pulls the little band that stretches the band. And you get all that little sack, and you pull it into the band, and you release the gun. And the band squeeze behind the knackers. Like that, yeah. And eventually they drop off. They go all dry and crispy. Oh, make a lovely chewy sweet. Yeah. No. You eating still? Yummy. Oh, says so Larry the cat. In the garden, so lush and so fine, lay some tyres, repurposed in line with veggies so bright. It was quite a sight, a feast that was truly divine, says Top Smoke. Thanks for that. A poem. I thought it was the earthquake here, but it was beans. Yes, we've had earthquakes. We had one today, and we had one yesterday, what I know of. I say what I know of, but we didn't feel it. No, not here. We had no earthquake. Actually, when the one struck yesterday, and people say, "Oh, my caravan just shook." Ooh, it's pleased to see you. But yeah, the caravan just shook. But no, I was on my motorbike at the time, hurtling along. I went to Oradorsa Glen yesterday to do some videos. I've got some more videos to be putting up at some point. I've got more of a casual one as well. So, crushed nut, sir. No, it's just the way I walk. Oh yes, naughty. This morning I had an omelette with carne asada and pico de gallo. Gallo? Is it pico de gallo? I can't give up eggs yet. Oh, nah. I still eat eggs. I'm not big on eggs, to be fair. They grow loads in America. So it's all to do with the entire chemical process, to be fair, because basically the cow eats grass and obviously methane, but the process is simple, while made milk has an entire chemical plant behind it. Yeah, to produce all this stuff. I can see that. Well, you've got fertiliser in that as well, haven't you? So that ain't gonna, obviously, it doesn't help the soil. That's the other thing about these fertiliser. You think how we used to grow stuff years and years ago? In the olden days when I was a boy, yeah, we used to grow stuff. And my grandfather, he'd have a compost heap and all the clippings from the veggies, all the trimmings from the veggies would go in there. And he'd get me in there turning it over with my feet. Yeah. Like I was crushing grapes. Okay, I just made that up. But anyway, we used to grow food. And we didn't use fertilizers and stuff because we had compost heaps, or we'd rotate the foodstuffs. These days, they want to get several crops out of the same field in the same year. So what they do, they have to add loads of fertilizers. Would be one potassium, nitrogen, potassium, phosphates, what have you. But they miss out all the minerals, all the stuff that actually we need in our food. They don't add that. They just add the stuff to make the food grow so it looks nice, even though it tastes like shit. Yeah. Grow your own if you can, honestly. You won't regret it. Or you might sweat a bit, but they'll be about it. Although there is no dig gardening, to be fair. So, yeah, there's always a bit of digging, though. Oh, Colin 6-hitter says, maybe that's good advice for me. Eat less and waste less. I think we all eat too much, don't we? And it also means that we also poison ourselves as well more. Because obviously, if you eat in excess, you're going to be taking the more toxins as in the percentage of the food, as in the percentage of what you need to consume. Makes sense, yeah. So yeah. Ginger says, contrary to common belief, it's cow belching due to the enteric fermentation that causes their methane. Yeah. Well, they regurgitate their food, don't they? They bring it up, big burp, a bit, and then they take it down again. Lovely. And then we drink their milk. I'll tell you what, though. When the cow's in the field next door, do you know what they can do? Or say, like, projectile shit. I mean, horizontal shit. It just comes out like a hose. Yeah, there you go. Okay, they're not on the toilet, but it just comes out horizontally like that. Over my flippin' fence. I have cow pats in my... Usually, if the cows are in the field next door, I will have cow pats in my field. Even though there's no cow. There'll be a cow pat. Because they shit over the fence. If it goes through the grillage, then it becomes like macerated. Yeah. But it's like liquid anyway, to be honest. God, that's disgusting. And when they wee, oh my God, don't they wee? Blimey. Just saying says, oh, that crappy vegan burgers crap is so full of shit. Full of salt. Some of it is, actually, to be fair. But, I don't know if you noticed, though. Is it? Hang on, I've got a question for you. Question! Now, I haven't been in McDonald's for a very long time. No. Apart from the other day. Which I did. Yeah. What a mistake that was. God. Anyway, I went to McDonald's. All I had was a Big Mac. There's nothing big about it. What a sloppy, floppy mess that was. And I looked over there and looked at theirs, and theirs was just the same. That doesn't look like nothing. It reminds me of that film Falling Down with Michael Douglas. And he's pointing to the burgers, and he's got his bag of machine guns and stuff. Anyway, he's not very happy because it doesn't look anything like what he's just been given. The sloppy mess. But is it me? This is my question. Have they become smaller? Is this shrinkflation? I swear that's smaller. Now here in France, and you don't get them in the box now anyway, because obviously it's a good thing. They just wrap it in a bit of paper. But it's tiny now. It's like a kiddie meal. And the patties inside are so flippin' thin. Didn't used to be like that. I swear it wasn't as bad as that. And they've gone up by about 80 cents. They were $4.80 and now they're like more than 80 cents. I think they're $5.90 or $5.70 now in France. For a Big Mac. Just the back, yeah, just the... And there's nothing big about it. It's more like a kid's meal. It's nuts. Oh, dear me. Everything's gone tiny. And then we got, oh crikey, the monarchy. I feel you, I do, I'm feeling you, old Scots. Any Scots in the chat? Oh, there is Mad Bunks here. How many Scots are in the chat? Just leave a yes. Or I'm a Scot. Or just Scot. Because what the hell is going on? I can't believe this. What the hell am I hearing? King Charles III, King Sausage Fingers. What the hell? Is he tone deaf? Is he not reading the room? He's only awarded a Scottish order. Yeah, the Order of the Thistle. I ain't got a clue what it's about. But anyway, it's the Order of the Thistle. Don't ask me, I'm not a Scot. I don't know. I haven't looked it up either, no. But anyway, Queen Camilla. Curtsy. Oh, so bow. Anyway, whatever you're supposed to do. Well, Queen Camilla has been awarded by her husband. Oh, well, crikey. He wanted to get his hand away, that's what it is. If I can have a bit, yeah, well, obviously the other week, it was, if I can have a bit, I'll make you the Queen. And now, so, well, I'll award you a Scottish order. Order of the Thistle. Yeah, that's what he did. Just get a bit, that's what I reckon. Maybe. You know, his sausage thing. Anyway, quite frankly, are you kidding me? This is absolutely ridiculous. What the hell was it all about? Anyway, I think this is an absolute insult. We had the insult the other day, didn't we? We made a video about that, how James, not so cleverly, the foreign minister, he's instructing his, minions, other diplomats and what have you, to control the Scottish diplomats. I don't know how he's going to do it. Are they going to use kind of like a lightning rod or something like that? Or one of them things where they catch the dogs or something? I don't know. You know, dog catches thing with a ring on the end. You put it in the necks of the Scottish ministers or something to shut them up. But anything I would say is, though, obviously you're doing something, you in Scotland, obviously doing something right. You're pissing everyone off in Westminster. Well, I just think it's all nuts. Anyway, let's first not forget, but the fact the monarchy. I'm no fan, as you know. Quite frankly, he's outdated. Did you see him today on his birthday? Oh my goodness, there he was on his flipping horse. A dead bear on his head. I wish he'd taken past out like that other guard did there a few days ago when they were doing rehearsals. They all carried on with their trombones. Well, he's on the flipping floor panting. Poor bugger. Passed out. Because not allowed to move, you see. It's flipping ridiculous. Anyway. There is no place for the monarchy in a modern democratic society, to be fair. But we're going to have a monarchy. The last we can expect is, well, a semblance of respect and understanding for the people they claim to represent, but they don't. They don't represent them, but also they don't even, they don't care about them. Now, Scotland, for instance, has a rich history. For God's sake, they've got a stone of scone. Yeah. A stone of destiny. Like the pick of destiny. That's an HD. Well, quite frankly, I think Scotland deserves better than this load of charlatans. And I've mentioned it a million times, I'm going to mention it again. I don't want Scotland to leave, but I understand why they have to. They've been shat on from a very high height. That they are. Well, and there we go again. So the fact is that King Charles III, the King's Sausage Fingers, thought it appropriate to bestow that honour upon the Queen. What the hell is she the Queen anyway? Well, who has shown time and time again, quite frankly, disdain, really, disregard, and for the wishes and aspirations of Scottish people. What flippin' hell is she? Why? She's awful. Adulterous. Well, this movie it reeks of insincerity, and is it a bit of a desperate attempt to maintain a sort of a semblance of control? Misguided unity. I don't know, unity in the face of growing calls for Scottish independence. Well, it's rather pathetic, really, and it's transparent as a ploy. Maybe it's to appease the Scots, but that ain't going to work, is it? That's why they're not reading the room. No. They're not addressing the real issues that ordinary Scots just thought was going on in the rest of the United Kingdom. The government doesn't give a damn about the people. The state things are in. No. Instead of empty gestures and meaningless titles, how about actually listening to the Scottish people and the people of the rest of the United Kingdom? How about respecting democratic choices? Oh my God, they're Brexit. That's kind of used that argument there, didn't they? Yeah. I wish they didn't in this case. That was madness. It still is. So, death by 1,000 cuts. Well, the whole charade is a prime example of the disconnect from this flipping monarchy and the realities of just ordinary folk around. And obviously, those in Scotland regarding this flipping Order of the Thistle. I find it's infuriating. It's rather insulting, I think, to the Scottish people. And we need to put an end to this farce. How can we do it? Any ideas? You try and keelhaul the king, but then his fingers would probably explode. Maybe. Oh, the world's gone absolutely bonkers. And it has. Oh, and actually, no, it's just the United Kingdom. It's not quite the same here. No. Don't feel like it. Anyway, chat, back in. No corn. I ate no corn. No corn. Okay, here we go.
What? I didn't have any corn.
Oh. You're a load of trouble, you are, Larry. There we go. Take care. Thomas off. Hello, Thomas. Good night, everybody. I've got to sleep. Oh, I suppose it is 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's just turned midnight for me. So it's about 11 o'clock for you guys, gals. Big ears. Oh, what's going on there? Who's there? Hello, Kevin Sims. Oh. Did you read a French company, Sodexo, has been awarded a contract to manage the UK's food services imports? I did, actually. You reminded me. Yeah, thanks, mate, buddy. You just reminded me of something else I want to talk about. How is it that we do not seem to have the ability to actually do anything for ourselves? We even, import our toilet paper. We do. Sorry. I just had to do that bit. Yeah, but anyway. We even import our toilet paper. But you know what else we do? We can't even, what else we can't do? We can't even build ships. No. Not any old ships. Beautiful ocean liners. Wonderful things they are. We'd get the Scots to do it, but, they build warships with bent shafts. Sorry! Well, or misalignment. It was a misalignment, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, that's HMS Prince of Wales. That's the one. But anyway, we can't seem to build or do anything for ourselves, and we're getting these lovely ocean liners. Beautiful accommodation that it is. Very simplistic lines, I must say. They look like container ships. Some people call them prison ships. Yes, the prison ships are going to be built in Australia. New ones, that is. Not the old one they got from Italy. Well, actually, I think it's a British company actually owns it. But this thing, or things, 1.6 billion in funding has been awarded to Australia to build prison ships for the asylum seekers. What can you say? Not only that, you got what Kevin Slimmers has just mentioned about the fact that a French company's just been awarded to manage UK's food and services imports. Give us a bone and just check it through, will you? Oh, we don't care. Why can't we do anything for ourselves? We can't even print our own flippin' passports. Well, that's a collab between Poland and France. Our blue passports. What's that all about? Blimey. Oh, dear. Cheers, my buddy. And what else was there? There was something else as well. So there's the prison ships. What else has been built or purchased or have you from abroad? Oh, lots of things have been purchased from abroad, but that have been contracted by this government. Abroad. Well, we know that the car industry, the EV batteries, what have you, we can't seem to get that one right, can we? I've got various African countries blocking exports of key minerals, critical minerals to make the batteries and what have you. The cobalt and various other minerals. Kind of cripples us somewhat. Is it Germany that they've struck a deal with a Chinese company to produce the batteries? I think that's right. But in the United Kingdom, we can't seem to get anything right. It's just everything's falling apart. It's just scary. It is scary because at the end of the day, people need jobs and what have you. Then you got throw AI into the mix as well. And okay, I know the government's saying something about services-based industries and what have you doing very well. Well, that's just factorism for you, isn't it? You know what she did? Destroyed production in the United Kingdom in favour of services industries, which cripples the UK's economy when it goes wrong. Globally, it goes wrong big time. The thing when you make stuff, you've always got it, which means you can always sell it. So it's whereas when you've got a service-related company, it just goes. You lose it completely. What happened in the financial crash? Everything just went to pot, and we weren't even in control. Well, we certainly were in control, and they put those measures in which Rishi Sunak wants to get rid of. So Tories don't get tasered. The heat is getting to me, but I am used to it. Yeah, it has been rather warm. I've been on the roof. I've been close to the sun by about another 4 or 5 meters closer. So it's been really hot. King Big Ears the Turd with sausage fingers. Yes, that is. That is depressing. Everything's depressing at the moment. I think all I'm doing is just, I don't know, sharing negative news all the time. But everything's negative. I can't find anything really positive. And then no one's interested anyway. I uploaded that video this morning actually. The one of Oradors. I don't know if anyone has seen it, but it's I didn't get many views on it, but I like making that sort of stuff. It's a little bit of a story bit regarding Oradors Glen, which is the village mentality, which is basically where the SS came in and they basically destroyed everybody in the village. They killed 643 people were murdered. Either in the church or the women and children, everything just completely vicious, absolutely vicious. But it's been left as in memoir, and that was a decision by Charles de Gaulle. They're sinking Britain. They are aircraft carriers. Oh my God, yeah, aircraft carriers. Well, you're talking about obviously HMS Prince Charles, and you got the Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, HMS Queen Elizabeth, which that one seems to be kind of okay. But the Prince of Charles is kind of servicing the Queen Elizabeth at the moment. They keep nicking bits off it. But it's, yeah. But aren't they dead in the water? You think of modern warfare, those things are just, they can be taken, what was it? One of Ukraine's ships was taken out a couple of weeks ago. And then you obviously with Russia, they have that big old warship of theirs got taken out. They don't move. They're too slow. How many knots do they do? 15 or something stupid? They're not exactly fast, are they? They're not going to dodge a missile. Besides all the tech now, everything is just so advanced. They can't, they can't get away from it. They have to, the only thing they can do is try and shoot the things out of the sky before they hit them. Sir Smug. Oh, bum. I'm scrolling down. Hi, from Scotland, says Leslie. Hello, Leslie from Scotland. History in reverse. It's a shame too. Britain isn't landlocked and has so many seaports, unlike many EU states. Yeah, you think of the coastline. The UK coastline is actually relatively long, and some of it's really treacherous. You can't land anything. A lot of the UK coast, especially up in Scotland, land anything there. It's just rocks. But and also you got the needles. they're like tank traps. But it's someone I've sailed around the United Kingdom quite a bit, and it's you realise how treacherous it is around our coast. Some of those waters, they move incredibly fast. They really do. So it's those people in little boats coming from France is they're taking some risks. They big massive risks. Especially how laden those boats are. That poor ship that got about six. How many people they say was on there? About 3,000 people on there or something, and something like that. Anyway, that ship from Africa, off the coast of Greece, was poor people died. Frightening. Can you imagine that? Many of them in the hold. They, down below deck. They couldn't get out. Well, the boat was upside down. So, can't make anything yet. Some kippers. Some kippers. What kippers? What, like that? Kipper. Though Brexit was a brilliant idea. It's been ironic, obviously. We don't build anything because no one invests in training our people. Cheaper to import the skills. There is some truth in that, to be fair. But we don't actually have enough people in the UK. We don't have enough training facilities. Now, I remember when I was doing my NVQ 2, actually went to 3, but in my NVQs anyway, National Vocational Qualifications, and on bricklaying at City College. And where we had a really big workshop, and we had to build models and stuff, in brick and what have you, using lime putty mortar and what have you. And they moved us into, they shrunk it down. At a time when we needed people, so it was a busy course as well. It's hard to get on. So it was, that was. So what they do is they'll invest in the courses that make the most money, that aren't the most costly. And obviously, when you got to make stuff, you need materials and all sorts of stuff. You see, that makes them very costly courses to run. So they don't invest in them. Hairdressing, they seem to love hairdressing. We don't build anything anymore. Well. Even energy, even though we produce enough, we can't get it from A to B in the UK. I mentioned before in Scotland it produces more energy than it actually consumes, but massive amounts of energy, like I was saying, is not actually getting from the north to the south. They just don't have cables big enough, and we're supposed to have this energy, this to EV and what have you, massive green renewable drive and what have you. But if we don't have a means of powering this, the vehicles and what have you, we're kind of a bit not scuppered, but it's a massive problem that we're going to have to deal with. Now, I'm all for doing the eco, as you know, but I want it to be practical and sensible. Otherwise, we won't bring people on board. People won't embrace it. I would like to see more reasonable sized cars, as in like SUVs and stuff like that. Because for me, I need an SUV or a four-wheel driver because of the land and what have you. But I also want it to be practical. I don't want blinking great TV screens on my dashboard, because that tech always goes out of date. It always does. And then, I can imagine being quite expensive to replace as well. The haunted penny farting himself. The haunted penny farthing and the penny farting himself. Oh my god, yeah, that's a tongue tie. In English are good at ghosting comments. They are. Have you been on some of them? Some of them channels. You leave comments, and also on Twitter, what have you? Leaving comments on Twitter, and it's they either ignore you or they block you. Though it seems, I should have like a wall of fame of all the people who have blocked me. Like Tori Skofi, for instance, she blocked me. She don't like me. So. It's not very, how to put it, inspiring, is it? And when you see how poor the UK's economy is at the moment. Yeah. That was third quarter in 2022. And it hasn't recovering. The growth in the UK, is a bit better than that now, but it's, compared to all the other countries. Russia's pretty much doing better than we are. It's just nuts. But on the G7, I think Japan's worse at the moment. So that is definitely struggling. So, regarding the Partygate, though, and should we ignore... just ignore Boris Johnson and all his acolytes. And I'll tell you something you shouldn't ignore, is Michael Fabricant. That man, oh my god, he's terrible. He's just been sucking up to, Boris Johnson will try and tell everybody that, we need to ignore. Yeah. It was just a cake. They keep going on about cake and there was no wine or cheese. But the fact of the matter is, they lied. Parliament, that's what it was about. It's lies. They lied to us and lied to the people and lied to Parliament. Didn't they? There's no getting away from it. Well, I need a drink now. Oh, there we are, I have a beer. I pour beer out, don't I? Part of a beer and then I let it go flat. It's about right, isn't it? That's how it goes. But yeah, chat. Do. I drive a 2004 Honda Accord and it never breaks down. Well, I drive a 2005 or 2006, can't remember now. This next trail, and it's never broken down. I've had problems with it, which I got, I can deal with because that's kind of what I do. And but it's been a good car actually. It had its initial problems, which I sorted out when I first bought it. The triple bonds fabricant, yeah, very good. They said about Partygate that they carried on as usual, so the decision makers of the UK are always pissed dead, pretty much. Yeah, that is pretty much it. It's such a Mickey takeover. They're even saying it in that little clip I showed you. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew it broke the rules. Oh, just bending the rules, they said. Tell that to all the people who basically, couldn't see their loved ones or see them off properly if they passed away. That stuff sticks with people. That's what Boris Johnson's going to be remembered for. Good. Well, not good that happened, but good that he's going to, well, although he's got a column in the Daily Mail, getting paid about £1 million a year, apparently. To write a column. It's nuts. But the world's gone absolutely crazy, or the UK has, most certainly. There again, we've got a fair share of problems here in France that we have. But my God. So I see it. David Warburton, Conservative MP, he was suspended. Ooh, let's have a look at that. Right. Let's bring you in. It's not working. Why not bringing you in? Okay. Oh, I see why. Oh, silly me. That's why. Aha! There we go. Alright. I don't want cookie options. Go away. Accept all. I'll accept them. So I'll delete them later. So David Warburton, Conservative MP, is suspended over harassment and drugs allegations to stand down and he's triggered a by-election. That is the fourth one. Thanks for letting me know about that. Yes, that's interesting. So Mr. Warburton has said that he will resign because he has he was denied. Oh, crikey, poor old me. Poor old hard done boy, Mr. Warburton. Yeah. He says he's been denied a fair hearing by a parliamentary harassment watchdog investigating allegations that he had made unwanted advances towards two women. Oh, they're dirty little baggers, aren't they, these Tories? Oh, there he is, you dirty... Oh, goody aunt. Would you want to have an advance by this man? Yeah, give us a tenner. Well, a Conservative MP embroiled in scandal has announced that he will stand down, triggering another by-election in his Somerton and Frome constituency. So he's been suspended in April 2022 it was, pending the outcome of independent complaints and grievance scheme, ICGS, investigation into allegations of harassment and drug abuse. Oh, I wonder if he shares a line with Cokehead Gove. Now, speaking to the Mail on Sunday, the 57-year-old said that he will resign his seat this weekend because he was denied a fair hearing by the parliamentary harassment watchdog investigating allegations that he made those advances. He admitted to the newspaper that he had taken cocaine after drinking incredibly potent Japanese whiskey with a third woman. The woman photographed and recorded him after he visited her flat following a late night vote in the House of Commons. Recorded them. What is this, like a porno? No? Ooh. Oh, I give you that is a scary thought. Mr. Warburton has now accused the parliamentary authorities of being terrified of the Me Too movement, and saying that he didn't stand a chance from the outset after the ICGS investigation was launched. In his resignation letter, he reportedly says that the malicious allegations and flawed 14-month investigation was inflicted unimaginable and intolerable destruction on my family and on me. Sounds like the Patterson inquiry, doesn't it? You know. Well, Mr. Warburton was first elected in 2015 with a majority of, still not quite as big as majority as Nadine Dorries, of 20,268, or 53% of the vote. According to the MP's website, at 18.3%, this represented the largest constituency swing to the Conservative Party. He was re-elected in 2017 and 2019, and the majorities of 22,906, still not more than Nadine Dorries, and 19,213 respectively. Following Mr. Warburton's announcement of his decision to step down, a Conservative Party spokesman said, "The IGCS is an independent body set up by Parliament, and the Conservative Party respects its processes. Mr. Warburton had the whip withdrawn over these complaints last April and had not sat in Parliament as a Conservative since." Now, is he the Conservative who was we all talk about? Oh, who was it? Who's been investigated now? We were talking about last year. Did we ever get to the bottom of it? Was it Mr. Warburton? Oh, or was it Mr. Pidcock with the candlestick in the library or something like that? I don't know. Either way, could be either. Anyway, back over here. What about your sovereignty? We ain't got any. No, we're giving it all away to Australia and places like that. Written to the into these trade deals. Ginger says, wasn't the stream supposed to be a one? It's a Marcus hour. I'm going to kick off in 15 minutes. That's what I'm going to do. So, guys, get drunk. Does coke. And pursues women who want him to just beat it. Oh, he is surprised when he has to step down. Alrighty then. Yeah, it's kind of what it's like. But they're all defensive. They're all defensive. Boris Johnson's been defensive. Get caught out, handed the cookie jar. They get, and they all get all defensive and say, "No, it wasn't me. No, I didn't do that." And then he gets all their little followers and all the Dean Dorries, Shaker Rees-Mogg, Duff Cap Borlock and all that. Get all them lot to try and back him up. That's what seems to happen every single time. They have got no honour. Literally zero honour. Oh dear. Doc Davies, yes. Does it hurt if you get the whip removed? Oh my giddy! Oh no, that's beads. That's the beads. Yeah, that can hurt. Apparently, I wouldn't know myself, but Oh my God, where am I going with this? But Mellow, hello there. I hope you're well. Boris Johnson, a columnist, yes, for the Daily Mail, and getting paid about £1 million. They're not going to do it unless they think he sells papers, and he does. That's the thing, you see. We can all say, "Oh, let's just ignore them. Just ignore them. Let's not say anything. Just let them. Just ignore them. Go away." But they don't. They never go away because there's a huge proportion of the huge amount of people who do actually enjoy or listen to what comes out of their mouths, which I still find very hard to fathom why. But there you go. A lot of there's a lot of S&M in the British political class. Oh my goodness, that's such a... Oh, have you seen them? Can you imagine it? All in their little gimp suits. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Where's my gimp suit gone? Oh no, it's gone. I can do a squeak. That's the gimp suit. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, all right. That didn't really work that well. So, remove the whip. What? They remove the whip quickly, like pulling a plaster. Oh. Ooh. Get get Johnson's plane repainted. Yeah, oh, giddy up. How much did that cost? It was like £500,000 or something, Stu, wasn't it? To paint that fin on that plane. Or something like that. It looks like a British Airways plane. Right, time he finished. Where are we now? We can't know what is in his mind when he's slobbered over young female staff members, making lewd comments. Well, I think we have fairly vivid imagination, so I imagine we do. And I don't want that vision in my head again. No, most certainly do not, no. But Marcus said he was tired. I was. And my eyes have bloodshot. But a little bit longer. Not yeah, another 13 minutes. So it'll be 2 hours. Yeah, it's just like 1 hours in, you see. I think, is that lower? It's not 4 hours, is it? No. I'm going live again tomorrow night. I don't know what that'll end up being. Maybe 24, Mad Punk. Oh, you're going to be here. Oh my God, he's going to be at work all day. Well done getting a job, my friend. Do. What about your sovereignty? Like I say, we give most of that away. Do. The thing is with trade deals is, whenever you secure any kind of trade deal, it's a two-way thing, you see. And you give away a little bit of your sovereignty. It just eats at you. Yeah. Because of rules, you see. You have to lax on your rules. Oh, I don't know if he's related to the actual Warburtons, is he? As in the bread. Don't eat that bread. It's got human hair in it. Human hair. Yeah. Well, it's got hair in it. Warburton's bread, apparently. Allegedly. Yeah. Listine. Yeah. Just like, what was it now? Raspberry ice cream has got beaver anal gland juice. Something like that. Yeah. Lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Thought I'd share it with you. Is anyone on here eating the Raspberry Rebel? Has Nadine Dorries actually stood down? I don't think she has yet, has she? I know she hadn't of yesterday. She hasn't officially resigned. She just made an announcement. Didn't Boris Johnson say, well, I think you should all vote for the Partygate investigation, or the report? Don't know what game he's playing. Farmers are being attacked worldwide. Banning fertiliser. The march for NWOs is obvious, yeah. I think we have got to change the way we farm. We just have to. We're farming depleted soils. The soil's become... It's got no structure. It can't hold itself. The wind is literally blowing soil. That sounds crazy, I know, but it's actually blowing the soil. When you get high winds out of it, it's actually ending air. Some of the soil, bit by bit, it's becoming airborne. The soil's overworked. It's been overworked for donkey's years now. We're destroying it, and all this intensive farming. We can't carry on farming in that method. We really can't. Buggering ourselves, we're destroying this planet. Send away for a fabricant syrup. Oh, is they syrup or stirrup? Whenever I see one of Daily Blase's videos, I see so many liars, so obvious that people have to be brain dead not to see it. It was that geezer's just got what's his name? Oh my God, I'll come to me in a minute. He was being interviewed. He was, and he just went right. He just tied himself in knots. He really did. I wonder if I can find it. It was in my feed earlier. And yeah, it's just nuts. Everything's flipping nuts. I keep saying nuts, but it is. Well, it's just so it is key. Oh, Simply Red has now shared that mirror clip. Yeah, the clip that's from the mirror, the Partygate clip. I can't believe they're saying this stuff. It's just nuts. Yeah, that one clip alone, this one, you know. That alone is
video
enough.
obtained by The Mirror shows a Christmas party organised by Sean Bailey's London mayoral election campaign team in the basement of the Conservative campaign HQ during strict COVID restrictions. It's the first time footage has emerged of one of the rule-breaking parties in Westminster. The man in the braces is Ben Mallet, who was Bailey's campaign manager. He was given an OBE in Boris Johnson's honours list. Sean Bailey was then elevated to the House of Lords in that same list. Ben Mallet is now running the campaign of Moz Hussain, who wants to be the party's candidate in next year's race to be the capital's mayor. The video was filmed on December 14th, 2020, at a time when socialising indoors was banned. Later in the video, guests can be heard laughing about bending the rules.
Spare party.
As long as we don't scream that we're like, but you
I'm pretty sure.
actually.
I think they're past.
Laura?
What do you think of this?
Laura?
I'll tell you what I think of it. It's a flippin' piss take. It really is. How can you not? How long have they? Obviously, the Partygate inquiry. They must have had this footage. They must have had it. Obviously, that's why it's been released. Must have been. I don't know. It's nuts. Boy. And meanwhile, Jacob Rees-Mogg, he promised us cheap food and clothing the day after we leave the European Union. But unfortunately, yeah, it's not going very well. No. Especially for him, since, yeah. What the hell is he wearing? What on earth is that? What? He doesn't. He can't carry his clothes, can he? He's no clothes hanger. No. That's nuts. I said nuts again. Got nuts on the brain. I'm probably wearing this t-shirt. It says about fancy handful of my nuts. Maybe. So. Oh, God's sakes. How are you doing for time? Back to the chat. Fabric rat. Oh, I know. Johnny Swinestein have been finally had enough of palm oil. Oh, scary. Oh, that'll become something's highlighted. Deport Boris Johnson. No, you should. Yes, Tommy, they did. Tommy says, the farmers had time to put up their leave banners. Yep. Unfortunately, most of the farmers voted to leave the European Union, and that's really shot themselves in the foot. Although there's campaigners, big farmers and stuff like that. There are campaigners out there who just they never fell into that trap, into that Brexit trap, and they're doing what they can to try and turn things around, but they can't get anywhere because no one's listening. No, people are stubborn. They don't want to admit that they made a mistake. And like I said earlier in this stream, if you don't accept what the cause of the problems are, if you don't accept the cause, how the hell are you going to mitigate it? I don't see any light in the tunnel unless we do. I really don't. And there is no making Brexit work. All you can do is try and make Brexit a little bit better than what it is at the moment. Yeah. But I'm sure Bill Morehouse will try and twist that round. Well, actually, what he meant was actually just make it a bit better. Or why didn't he say that then? Or make Brexit better. No, we're going to make it work, he said. Make Brexit work. Well, that's implying that you can obviously, the implicate. It's implying that there is a solution to the problems that we're facing. Make it work, which means it has to be better than what it is at the moment. Or better than it was before, even. To make it work. But there ain't no making it work. We know that. They're made from Lego. Vendetta. What does Smith say? Why are his legs like that? I don't know. It's bizarre. But he never wears his clothes. It's just like those clothes are like got some kind of internal framework going on. And he's got this tiny little body inside. Maybe he's an alien. Maybe it's a bit something, I don't know. Men in Black, or like geezer, who've got levers and stuff, and controlling that. All that film with Eddie Murphy. I can't remember what that one's called either. But anyway, that's nuts. It's not Road. Oh, he took his nanny's coat by accident. I always think Victorian undertaker or workhouse owner when I say Jacob Rees-Mogg. There's something not right up there. How can you just... try and maintain that argument when it's so blatantly obvious a lie. You can't argue that was a party. There is no argument there. And it's the fact that he lied to Parliament. It was, and he's doing it again. He broke parliamentary procedure when he announced that he's resigning by giving little clues in the actual in his resignation letter about what was in the actual report, and then he breaks some parliamentary standards or whatever they call it yet again because he didn't inform them that he's even though he's not an MP now because he stepped down, he still has to, as all ex MPs have to do. He's supposed to inform them what he's doing next, and he didn't. Well, actually, he did tell him. He told me about an hour before he actually got the job. Yeah, this was obviously the job with the Daily Mail to do that column. What was this? More like someone said about Jimmy Savile. Where's that? More of a Jimmy Savile vibe than Savile Row. Yes, most definitely. I was referring to Jacob Rees-Mogg, I take it. They made a Lego his legs. Apparently his legs, Jacob Rees-Mogg's legs are made of Lego. Apparently. Mogg Photoshop? I don't know, maybe it is, but it's a bit bizarre. It doesn't look Photoshopped though. I might have a look at it later. His jackets always look like that. The trousers are weird though. His jacket's always like that. Yeah. His jacket's he does. His jacket is generally like that. That's about right. It's bizarre, then. It's also been starched for a very long time. Several cans of aerosol starch has been used on that suit. Crikey! Can you imagine what it looks like underneath it? Oh my god! And those trousers, bizarre. I don't know what's going on there either. That looks bizarre. He has got lucky legs. He's got legs that are lucky to hold him up. Or he's lucky that they hold him up, I should say. Pencil head. Oh. And Joe says, Phil the pill. Why does he not talk about the simple fact that the EU does not want to negotiate anything unless it benefits the EU? Spot on. And the UK has no active role on that. No, as they see at the table either. And the other thing is, Maros Sefcovic, she said, was it last week or this week? Just gone. That. Well, he basically said that. There's a lot of talk. There is a lot of talk about the UK wanting to renegotiate the deal. That was actually in response to the car manufacturing industry, such as Stellantis and what have you, that they wanted to have the deal renegotiated because the rules of origin are causing them a lot of shit, a lot of problems. Yeah, and Maros Sefcovic says, "No, I don't think that we won't be renegotiating the deal, and for at least until 2025 or 2026. I think 2026." So he then went on to say that the UK basically hasn't made a fair effort with it yet, as in seeing the benefits of the actual trade deal. I think he's been sarcastic. I think so. Mello says, Rees-Mogg is from a planet Tory. Nothing good exists. He's from somewhere. My God, watching I think that was actually Lee Corn shared the clip with me actually originally from Jacob Rees-Mogg when he was a kid, about 12 years old he was, in the back of his Rolls Royce, and also they did like phoning up people, like selling shares and stuff. He's like like a youngster, what have you. Oh my giddy aunt, oh crikey, he was doomed from the start. He was. Is he pregnant? What, Jacob Rees-Mogg? He's trying to wear clothes to hide his pregnancy. That's what it is, isn't it? They look like Lego fig legs. What? Mogg is a close friend of Steve Bannon's. Oh my God. Actually, I did not know that. What? Is that right, Vipek? I didn't actually know that. Vipek is saying, right, Jacob Rees-Mogg is close friends with Steve Bannon, who was the advisor to Trump, and also it was Breitbart magazine and what have you. He was hello Wally, Breitbart magazine. It's all propaganda and all that crap. Blimey. And also, he came over here as well and spoke with Marine Le Pen. And it was just like, crikey. It's like, wear your racism on your sleeve or something. He was saying all this stuff. It was just... I think even she felt uncomfortable. Marine Le Pen. It's either that she didn't feel uncomfortable, or maybe she thought, maybe her following is not going to like the sound of this. She looked actually very uncomfortable doing that visit from Steve Bannon. He always look uncomfortable because it looks like he's got a severe rash on his face. Yeah. Is he in prison yet? He keeps getting arrested, I know that much. But that'll be the orange one next. He could get... There's a possibility he could get 20 years. The actual cases again, the felonies, some of them are really bad. Really bad. I thought, crikey. Lock him up! Yeah. He'll spout in his defence, Hillary Clinton's emails, or something like that. Oh! These people. Oh, dear. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know sometimes. It's just like, no one really wants to grasp the bull by grasp the bull by the horns and actually sort this shit out. But they won't, will they? Because they won't admit the problem. I'm very concerned that obviously Labour doesn't want to either. So maybe if we had a Liberal Democrat Labour coalition, maybe Labour would end up having to, maybe it could be a part of the deal. Get rid of this make Brexit work rubbish. They had a 2-word slogan. Mitigate Brexit. Or Brexit is shit. I don't know. Bollocks to Brexit. They tried that one. Yeah, and Lib Dems got criticised. Ramona Kangaroo Court witch hunt. Oh, apparently. Yeah. No proof they had a party, they said, didn't they? And now we've got videos of them all working. And actually saying that, well, make sure we're doing, this is not a party, as long as it's not streaming. Crikey. These people. Just nuts. But when you see video clips like that, of a party, it just confirms everything. It just confirms all the lies. If that was a lie, everything else was probably a lie. We know that, don't we? So, yeah, and Jake Rees-Mogg, he was rather flustered. Did you see him on being interviewed? He was getting a bit kind of uncomfortable. Yeah. Now, Jake Rees-Mogg was not too keen about being asked whether or not he'd join Nigel Farage, along with the possibility of, which I can't see this happening, to be fair, with Boris Johnson. Nigel Farage is an embarrassment to this lot, as far as they're concerned. They don't really want to be associated with Farage, and Jacob Rees-Mogg was asked the question about whether or not he would join, and he says, "Well, no, I'm a Tory through and through." He goes, "Yeah, rather flustered." And he says he won't be giving back his knighthood either. Grubby little bugger, isn't he? Which he pretty much received in disgrace. He lied to the flipping Queen, didn't he? And then he obviously got it from a disgraced Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. So the former, business minister, he was among, who else was it now, obviously? Oh, no, it wasn't Dean Dorries, was it, though? He was among others, Boris Johnson's allies, along with the dog walker and the hairdresser in that resignation honours list. All those gongs have, also been handed out to former mayoral candidates as well, Sean Bailey. And Tees Valley Mayor Ben Hushon, and Priti Patel. She's no dame. Dame. She's no dame. No. Well, a petition. It has been. Well, there's a petition out there. It's been thrown out, I suppose. But it's got 418,000 signatures. Yeah. Actually, it might have more now. I've got it up here somewhere. Here it is. I think that's it. Oh, I don't know where is it? Where is it? I don't know what it is now. Oh, that's not. Oh, here we go. How many? Oh, it's got 421,000 now. Signatures. There it is. Yeah. Do everything in your power to block Boris Johnson from being able to, award a long list of people with peerages and places in the House of Lords. But that's all passed now. It's all gone. Well, it's all been signed off by the King. And Jacob Rees-Mogg now is Sir Mogg. Can we just call him Sir Bog? Or maybe. Oh, dear me. So, I'm absolutely shattered. And I did say an hour. It's 2 hours and 7 minutes. So, I am going to call that a day. And if you haven't checked out my other video, don't forget to beat the old like button if you haven't done so already, which I kind of, forgot to mention. But there you go. And done the poll either, have I? And the like button isn't working. Oh my god, everything's broken. Oh, that one. Why isn't the like working? Oh, it is now. Oh, there you go. Well, yeah, hit the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If they ever give notifications out, that is. Well, it's time for me to go because I am absolutely shattered. It's 1:15 here in the morning. Oh my giddy aunt, my poor missus. Oh, she's probably quite glad, actually. Yeah, maybe. She gets more space. Maybe. Well, just think about it when you go to bed tonight. Just think about how the UK government is ripping everybody off and sending all the money abroad. Yeah, all these lovely contracts. Ooh. Just not for the United Kingdom. It's just hard to fathom that it is. Anyway, I'm just going to check the chat and then I'm going to call it. So now the girl, dancing baby, too close with. Oh my giddy aunt. Oh, sorry. Oh, there we go. There's a dancing baby. I forgot about him. Oh my god, there he is. Yeah. No night there, Tories. Don't get tasered. Dancing baby, too close with. Oh, thanks for watching, everybody. There you go, Mad Bunk. Hello, Andrew Evans. Bon nuit, says Andrew Evans. Breaking news: another Steve Bannon friend just got jail held for fraud with no bail. Well, there's a three individual that regard the wall, build the wall, and they all got flipping jailed, didn't they? He seemed to got away with it. Dancing baby, night night. Good night, Marcus and all. Night one of these. I'm off to bed to dream about them destroying each other. Yes, the Tories, that is. It is coming true. They are. Well, they are the sinking ship. Will they ever get back in power after this? It's going to take a long time. The damage they've done to themselves. And do you know what's done the damage? Brexit. So is that a benefit? Is that a benefit of Brexit? Yeah. I know, Ginger. I'm going to get some sleep now. I am. Oh, da. Have you noticed how Bojo superfan Lindsay Hoyle has started doing his job? Oh, because Boris isn't there. Enjoy your evening, everyone, and have a nice night. Please do. Keep it up, Mark. Oh, I'll try to. Vendetta. I'll keep putting videos up. I've got a video going on in the morning. It's a walkie video with the missus. Yeah. Went round, Samature Lake. Talking about stuff. Yeah, with the missus. Quite funny already, but there you go. Anyway, have a lovely night and sleepy night. Sleep well. Yeah, that's the thing. Sleep well. I think I better do the same. So I'm gonna say ta-ta, you know. So ta-ta. What shall I leave you with though? Oh dear me. Oh, I need some outro videos. Dancing Chinese baby boy. Sunak integrity. Oh, okay. What about that one? Oh. Let's start with this one. No, And ta-ta. And thanks, Mad Monk. And
Just remember the days
any
when
other
people like Nick
planners
Clegg
that
would
might be
say
here.
that Nigel Farage's claims about an EU army are fictional and that it's a dangerous fantasy. Well, we've seen that the EU has now launched its own guard, its own armed guard that'll police its border. Why, if it didn't have aspirations of being a political and economic union with its own armed guard?
A lot of people would be eating turnips right now rather than thinking necessarily about aspects of lettuce and tomato.
Eat on all the bread or not?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, then we take them off. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, can I take off the meat and leave me the bread?
No, everything will be confiscated. Welcome to the Brexit, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh my.
It's been reported that you've got family links to Russia, that your wife apparently has a stake in the Indian IT consultancy firm Infosys. They operate in Moscow. They have an office there. They have a delivery office there. They've got a connection to the Alpha Bank in Moscow. Are you giving advice to others that you're not following in your own home?
That's not. I'm an elected politician and I'm here to talk to you about what I'm responsible for. My wife is not.
But why you decided to make the robot sort of represent a human type figure?
Where am I? That I will serve you with integrity and humility.
Am I dreaming?
She is not, but whereas it appears your family potentially could be benefiting from Putin's regime.
No, I don't think that's the case. And as I said, the operations of all companies are up to them. We've put in place significant sanctions, and all the companies that we are responsible for are following those, as they rightly should, sending a very strong message to Putin's aggression.
Do you know if Infosys is?
What am I doing?
I have absolutely no idea because I have nothing to do with that company.
No. Where am I?
The NHS is and always has been
I know.
a national endeavour.
ta-ta.
That was set out in 1944 when it was a Conservative politician, Sir Henry Willink, who put forward the proposals for a national health service. That's right, a Conservative MP from my home city of Liverpool who conceived the NHS. A good omen, I think.